Okay, now all you have to do is turn it into an online home-based business. Okay, and by the way, we'll get into the formula of how to do that. But monetizing your strengths and your passions by creating an online business around them is the easiest way that at least I know of, and a lot of people know of, to create new income streams and wealth for yourself. Very easy because you're already doing what you're strong at. All you're now doing is putting it out there and getting a lot of people to see it and pay for it. I must tell you right now, it's very simple to do, but not necessarily easy because there's quite a few things to be done. But that doesn't mean that you need to be specialized to do it. I'll tell you another thing, which you might not believe me right now, but I guarantee after looking at this thing for a few, if you look quite deeply a little bit, you realize that anybody can do it. You do not need to be a business person. You do not need to be a techie or a computer nerd or somebody who knows computers at all. Okay, I'll show you how to get around those. Now you need to get over the myth that business is for special people only. Then some people say, oh, I'm not good at sales, I'm not a business person by nature. You don't need to be a business person or good at sales to do this. Okay, so just hang in there. I'll show you why you don't need all that. One thing I'd like to make clear is that we are all doing business activities all the time. All right, we're always doing business activities all the time. Think about it. When you help somebody cross the street, when you help your friend take care of their kids, or train or help them with their dog, that is a business activity. It's just that you haven't monetized it. You haven't asked for payment for it. But business is pretty much everyday life activities. Forget about Procter and Gamble and Microsoft and Coca-Cola. Don't think of brand names and just think of human activities. Coca-Cola, what's that? It's a drink. It's somebody who's selling you a lot of stuff to drink to a lot of people. It's a human activity. Monetizing it is now what makes it a business. Yeah? But business activities, we're all doing that. It's just that we don't charge each other money for it. Now, if you charge other people money for it and you do it on a large scale, which is easy on the internet, you're in business. And it's quite easy to do if somebody shows you how. If no one has shown you how to do that, it will look like a very complicated, mysterious thing. But now that you're here, you're soon about to know that it's not. Now, very important thing, an online business is not a website. Not. Yeah? Many people fail with online businesses because they think that once they have a website, they have an online business. That's a completely wrong concept, yeah? There are many differences between a website and a web business. And when you think about it, a website is just a brochure. Not every website is a brochure, but most websites that people make out there is a brochure with many pages and links and buttons and everything. It's not a business. That's like telling me that a billboard or a brochure or a postcard is a business. It's not. Yeah? Now, most people have no idea how to do business online, and even business people have no idea how to do business online because the web as a business platform is only a few years old. It's very new, right? Very new. Now, your typical physical businesses that we grew up seeing even as little kids are thousands and thousands of years old. There's been shops for I don't know how many years old. There have been shops since, I don't know, thousands of years, a few thousand years at least. So it's not your fault if you don't know how to do business online, because even if you had the most well-meaning and giving teachers and parents, they wouldn't have any idea how to teach you how to do business on the internet because, they just saw a mouse the other day, a computer mouse the other day. So most websites are just brochures with interactivity. A brochure is not a business. Think of all the functions that are in a brick and mortar business. You got things like location, staff, promotions, traffic, converting prospects to customers, lead generation, earning trust and reputation, sales and marketing, etc. You can't get that by simply slapping a website on the net. Now, I'll give you an example of, hang on a second. Look, we've covered these functions here, yeah? Some of the functions in brick and mortar. Many of them need to be done online, but they just need to be done in a way that makes sense online, an online equivalent of those functions. I'll give you an example. This is how trust works. People usually visit a website only once but psychologically they need to meet that website or the or the owner of that website or the material from that website 5 to 7 times before they can know, trust, and like that site enough for them to put out their credit cards and pay for something. Think about it. If you just met me today in the middle of the streets, you have no idea who I am. Even if I had something that seemed too cool, cool to buy, you might not trust me, But after you meet me 5, 6, 7 times, you start to, know, trust, and like me, and then that way we can do a bit of business. Think about how you shop. Quite often, you need to see something a few times before you can get comfortable with it. So, how do you get around that on the internet? The fact that people don't just put out their wallet the very first time they see a website, yet I want you to think about this. Yet, they only visit a website usually just once. Think about the last time you used Google, you typed in something, did a search, pressed enter, the results came out, you visited some sites. Let me ask you, did you ever go back to those sites again? Most likely not. So, how do you get around that? You put in something called an autoresponder. An autoresponder is, those sites that promise to give you a free PDF report or a free video or some cool articles if you put in your name and email address. The reason they do that is so they can capture you and then send you some free, useful information 5 to 7 times so you can get to know them, trust them, like them, get comfortable with them, and then they'll send, in one of those emails after 7 times, they'll send you something that asks you to buy something, because by then you're comfortable, you kind of know them. So that's one very quick and old example of why a website is a simple website is not a business, and that you need to do a little bit more. You need to do some things to make a website into an online business, but we'll cover that, so don't worry about that. So that's the end of the introduction. Let's now go into step 1 to 7 of how to build a strength or passion-based online home business.